Hey, welcome to Musings, episode number 231. Scott is hanging out on his phone at home because your internets were down at work.
Yeah, I mean, it might be up and running by now, but I didn't want to risk it. WoW reported they had a big outage going on, so I'm like, with those, you never know if it's going to be a couple minutes or a couple hours. So didn't want to risk it, so I came on home and took care of it this way.
There you go. Well, you can get that done there. So we got a fun show to talk about today. Let's get started real quick. I'm going to start us off real quick with Loringer Family Chiropractic Center, PC, located in Belleville, Michigan, and Dexter, Michigan. And they take great pride in providing the finest chiropractic care to each and every patient, offering on-site digital X-rays, massage therapy, orthotics by foot levelers, young living essential oils, aromatherapy, full line of vitamins, all in a family-oriented environment. Give them a call, 734-697-4244. You can visit them online at LoringerFamilyChiropractic.com. Here at Facebook, it is at Loringer Family Chiro. And as you can see from their most recent post, 35th anniversary. And this shows way back in the day when not just Dr. Brian's and Dr. Anna had their practice there in Belleville, but they also had other relatives, including, I know Dr. Brian's dad's one of these guys here, and I believe his uncle. And right here is Dr. Lisa, who is actually at the Belleville location now, when she was over in Rockwood, Michigan. So they've been around. They got several generations. And, of course, currently Dr. Corinne is there. And it's the daughter of Dr. Anna and Dr. Brian. So it definitely is going back a few generations of chiropractic care. And they take great pride in having that kind of generational service going on. So definitely check them out. If you're looking for any chiropractic service here in Southeast Michigan, they can definitely take great care of you. And then we also have, and I'll pull it up right now, for Scott to go over.
There we go.
Team Titans Real Estate.
Team Titans of Real Estate. Why? Because you matter. That's right. Even though we utilize the latest in tools and technology to maximize your home buying experience, we never forget at its core, it's still a people business. That's why we treat all of our customers as individuals. We custom tailor our approach to meet your goals and needs. One size fits all just isn't the most efficient way to maximize what you're getting in your personal deals. So Jill and I, you can reach us at 586-549-6096 is my number, or Jill is at 586-277-2145. As always, you can find us online at www.teamtitansofrealestate.com. Today's Team Titan message, it's not real estate related. This is just a public service announcement. They posted to our MLS a scam that's going around. So I just want to make sure everybody's aware of it. It's interesting. They're using modern technology to come up with a convincing scam to scare you out of your money.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening is the scammers are calling. They're finding you online. So if you're somebody who has your phone number posted, like a realtor, we have our phone numbers posted because that's how we do our business. They find you, and then they use social media to find a loved one of yours, let's say your mom. And they do their research and figure out what your mom's phone number is. They then phone her number and call you. So your caller ID will look like, it'll say your mom is calling. So you think your mother is calling you on the cell phone. You pick it up, and this is what's being reported for the scam. And you receive a phone call from a loved one, and when you answer, you hear a woman sobbing uncontrollably, attempting to speak, screaming. Then a male voice comes in and yells, "Shut up, you have to calm down or I'll put a bullet in your head." Then that person turns to talk to you, says, "I had your mom, I'm not letting her go before you pay me. I will kill her." Meanwhile, in the background, you hear the female wailing again. The criminal then says 3 times to different people in the background, "I'm not going back to jail. I need this money to get to Baton Rouge now. Here is the info. Write this down." They then give the wire instructions and keep them on the phone to verify that the money comes through. And if you hang up, they will kill your mom. Then, after the transaction's done, they hang up. And then these people have been calling back the mom or other loved one to verify, like, "Are you okay? Did you get let go?" And when the person answers, they're like, "I have no idea what you're talking about. The person was fine all along." So they're using technology to clone the phone numbers, using recordings or live actors, we don't know which, in the background screaming. Because somebody screaming, you won't. It's hard to tell who that person is. So just know that this is going on right now. It's called a virtual kidnapping scam, is what they're calling it. And if you get a call like that, it says you call the FBI and let them. So watch out for that. But this one alert: 7 realtors in this one office in I don't know if it's Oakland or Macomb, somewhere in that area, got hit in this one office, and the 7 of them all gave money because it was so convincing, the phone call. So watch out.
No, sorry, Mom. Someone calls on your phone number and says they got you and hold money. We'll tell you, well, you can keep her. Click.
In all seriousness, though, right now this is audio. With how advanced technology is getting with deep fakes and everything else, how long before people will be doing video calls like this?
Oh, I'm sure it's coming. I mean, it's definitely, there's a lot of, I mean, the scams are always very rife right now. My phone started, of course, in the last couple of weeks blowing up again with BS numbers. Some aren't even real phone numbers, just a long string of digits and stuff like that. I don't even answer them anymore. And that, because they just keep calling back if you do. But it's like the ones I get when they leave voicemails. Lately, it's been a computer voice saying, drop what you're doing. You need to walk outside. We're here to arrest you and things like that, which is a complete lie. Or you can call this number and take care of it over the phone. So,
but that's how the police operate.
I know. I've been getting some for years, though, on my sister. It's hilarious. They call and ask and say they're calling about her and that they're about to go to the judge. With this thing, and she's going to be fined and everything else and arrested. And it's hilarious. I'm like, what are you talking about? A couple I have answers because they look at real numbers. And, oh, yeah, I'm an officer of the court. I said, which court? And then they give you a court thing and stuff like that. You can pull it up. They give real information on that part, but they're not real. And I'm like, yeah, this is not how this works. I said, you're lying. I cuss them out most of the time. And they're like, oh, you can't be talking to us. I'm an officer of the court. I said, no, you're not. I said, they don't do this thing. You don't say, I'm going to the judge and ask for money. I said, that's a lie and you're lying. So you need to go away. And they call, I get about every 6 months, and then they'll call my brother, they'll call my mom. And it's just tied into to my sister had that she took care of years ago, but keeps popping up through crediting agencies. And that I had a couple like that too. I had one that was, credit card from over 20 years ago, and about 5 years ago they were calling. I said, look, this isn't even on my credit report anymore. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And then they kept bugging me. So I said, okay, send me the information. Since you got all my information, you can just mail it to. So they mailed me a letter, and I forwarded it on to the state attorney general saying this, and with proof that it's no longer on my credit report and that they're just scamming me money. And then I get a letter about 3 months later from this collection agency saying that the account's been closed. Because they basically, this attorney general actually will go after them. So if you have real information on a creditor coming after you here in the United States, not just these scams from overseas, you can do that. If you know that they're BSing, they're lying to you, just forward the information up to your state attorney general. There's something on the websites. Just go to your, like for here in Michigan, it's michigan.gov, and that's what they want you to do. Forward it and let them handle it from there. And then let them know. Say, I've already forwarded to the state attorney general. They stopped calling as soon as I said that. So it does get taken care of on that end, on that stuff there. But yeah, most of the time, people want to answer and mess with them. Don't, because what happens is it shows it's a real phone number. Then they sell that phone number and they sell it on these lists. And next to you getting 10 times the calls. And the less you answer, just let it go to voicemail, ignore it. You'll be fine. And then block the number in your phone. So, but yeah, you got to watch out for this stuff. There's tons of scams, especially this time of year with the holidays coming.
Now, a reverse story that was a funny one, but hopefully it doesn't become a trend. This one scammer called a guy, and the guy was like, no, I'm not. I know you're a scam. This is, you're a fake call, and, get lost. So the scammer, it was some guy in India or something. The scammer then called the local police and reported a hostage situation in that guy's house.
Yeah, there was a
So that
swatting.
guy sitting at home eating pizza, watching TV, and all of a sudden they come kicking in the doors. So the scammer got his revenge.
Yeah.
The
Well,
game. I
that
mean,
there's a few of those stories. It wasn't just scammers. It was like gamers that were doing it to people, and they call
oh,
it swatting. And it's a legitimate thing.
swatting. There you
They
go.
did probably about 5-6 years ago. It was going on, and it actually forced the police department to, instead of just immediately sending the SWAT, is they start sending out actually a patrol car to investigate and see if there's actually something going on, because they realized that there was a lot of these scams and
Right.
people were trying to send, police. And if they, not only there was actual SWAT, just police busting in the door and things like that. So it's definitely was a thing for a while there. But yeah, I heard it a lot through like gamers get mad at somebody for killing them in like World of Warcraft and taking out their character. They built up to like 100 levels or something, and then they lose everything. So then whoever did it, they found out who they were and called the police and said, "This is what's going on." So, but yeah, Google swatting and is
Yeah.
swatting revenge, and what
Crazy
people do is
world we
ridiculous.
live
Yeah,
in.
it is. It's nuts. So, Scott and I got to spend some time together. We were down in Akron last weekend
Yeah.
for the Akron Comic Con. It was their 9th one because of the COVID. Now they're a year behind. They're supposed to be their 10th. But yeah, it was. We had a good time. Got to see Vinny and Lisa. Got to see Bobby Krause, Jay Fife, some really good friends of ours, and we've Jay Fife worked on the Paul McCobb book. And of course, Vinny and Lisa do our T-shirts. So a lot of cool, fun stuff there. Had a great time. What do you think, Scott?
Yeah, it was nice catching up with everyone. Usually this is our last show of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like the fond farewells to everybody. And Akron itself always it receives well. We had a great turnout. Number wise,
Mm-hmm.
there was a good number of people there.
Yep.
I think volume of people was higher than 2 years ago.
It felt like, the initial onset of the crowd on Saturday, once it really got going, definitely built up. We had a nice solid crowd going for a while there, and that. So, and then Sunday wasn't bad. We had a little bit of a swell midday and then dried up, as Sundays do, especially when you got a 60-degree day and the sun's out and it's November. People don't want to stay inside all day long. They the ones that came out and got their stuff and left, and that. So, but she only went to 4, which is nice. So I actually got to drive home while there was still some daylight, since we had daylight savings time hit us over the weekend, and we gained an extra hour and that. So then, of course, that means we lose an hour drive time of sunlight.
Right. Now, unfortunately, one of the things that's notorious for changing the time is it's one of the highest accident days.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason. I understand people getting different amounts of sleep, but you get extra sleep on this time change. So I don't know why it's maybe because there's an hour less daylight. But coming home, there were 3 massive accidents I passed.
Well, Scott left a little bit before I did, and when I finally got going, my GPS did not take me the same route, because we both come the same route except for when we split off in Michigan. I ended up going the non-toll route because the turnpike was down after where Scott was at.
Yeah.
And my
the
thing showed
accident
if I went to
happened early enough that at the time it was saying it was only a 3-minute delay on the GPS. And so, and going off the highway was going to add 11 minutes. So I stayed on the route.
Yeah.
And then it started backing up, and then it was like a dead stop. And it ended up taking about 30 minutes to get through that spot.
Yeah. So I ended up going up north towards, it took me up north towards Cleveland, circled around the city, and picked up I-90 in Cleveland. And I took that until I hit Route 2, which kind of zigzagged me up towards I-280, which is off the turnpike still. So it ended up being not really too much of a difference. I made 2 stops on the way home, just for quick bathroom breaks, and still got home within about a little over 3 hours. So it wasn't bad. Wasn't that much of a delay, which is nice, going that way. So, but yeah, there was definitely accidents. And then I can tell you why. There's morons. I had a guy come on. I'm in the right lane, just got over as it's ending. Someone actually tried to whip around me on that little entrance lane to try to pass me, and he had to come back around, miss me by just inches, doing like 90 miles an hour, waved up in front of cars, and he never got that far ahead of me, and then he got off the next exit. It was just, and then I saw a few different morons like that. So I think it's just whatever it is, time changes made them just extra dumb on Sunday for driving, and that's why there's a bunch of accidents. I saw a ton of cops too. There was a lot of cops out in Ohio there. Didn't see any in Michigan because once I got into Michigan on 75, heading up to 275, most of that's under construction. So it's like they were avoiding that area with the traffic coming in. A lot of trucks coming in for Sunday night. So, but yeah, I had a great weekend. Always enjoy getting a chance to hang out with pals at the show. Had great dinner. Got went to the same place twice and for dinner both Friday and Saturday night. Really enjoying that. Nice farm to table, fresh food.
What were they called? The Butcher Block or Butcher and Sprout?
Butcher and Sprout, and they're in Akron. And you know what? It's been going to Akron for quite a few years now, and they're really in these last few years trying to build that up, just like a lot of places. A lot of new looking buildings, a lot of new looking restaurants and shops and things like that, all in this area we went and had dinner at. Definitely wouldn't mind checking out the area a little more for things like that because it looks like they're really doing a great job. The show actually was up in Cuyahoga Falls, which is just north of Akron, not too far in that. But so the whole area looks like they're really it's going through that revitalization we're seeing in different places around the country, and a lot of neat restaurants and stuff like that going on. Of course, one of our favorite breakfast places, Wally Waffles, was still downtown Akron there. They have a few other locations around that area, but we always go to the one across from the Highland Theater, which is a cool little old theater. It's got a giant screen, just one screen that's what I got there. And they were showing the Eternals, which we didn't have time to go see while we were there. So I'm going to go see that tonight.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be seeing it tonight too.
Yeah,
this is our first year not going to that movie theater, I think.
No, I don't think we went 2 years ago either.
Did we? Okay.
Yeah, but we went a few years. We went Thor that one year. Gosh, what else? A couple of the Marvel movies. We did that a couple years in a row. So
yeah, there was always a release like the weekend we were there.
Yeah, so we get set up and then grab a little bite to eat and go to the movies. And
I think Thor was the first one we saw.
Probably, yeah. Thor Ragnarok, which of course Lisa didn't like the fact that we had already seen it the night before, though we didn't really tell her. But it's like we were already seeing it, and then like, hey, tomorrow night y'all want to go to the movie and see Thor? We're like, sure, why not?
But as you pointed out, the question was, would you like to see it? Not did you already see
it? Exactly.
We answered truthfully.
Well, I did. So not gonna lie about that. She said, "Have you already seen it?" Yep, and I want to see it again, which I'm glad I did because actually seeing that movie 2 nights in a row made me love it even more because it was that much fun of a movie. So definitely it was great. So, but yeah, so Akron, we had a great time, and we'll see if we can make it back. Got to check schedules next year, as Comic Cons are evolving as well as personal lives are evolving. It's things make sure it fits the schedule, stuff like that. So we'll go from there. We'll see what's going on. And that, but I got one more show. Kevin and I will be in San Diego for the special edition Thanksgiving weekend. So those of you heading out to the West Coast that weekend, come out and see us. Here, badges may still be available to get in for attendees, so check that out. Maybe a good chance to actually check out a San Diego Comic Con.
We'll have 2 spots set up. So Kevin will be over in Artist Alley, and Brett will be set up in the small press area.
Right. I believe Kevin is going to be HH in Artist Alley, and I'll be 05. In small press. We'll get all that up on the websites for you guys to check that out, and we'll have all the books and everything available for you guys to come and get some great Bardstone stuff and Boomtown Press stuff. So
and it's my first year not doing that show since 2010.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you did the virtual one in the summer, so.
Well, I did, but
I know it doesn't count.
I guess you're right though. So technically, my streak is not broken. Because this is technically a separate show. It's not part of the main show.
Yeah, and they're kind of running this a little bit like how they do WonderCon. So they have a larger artist alley, larger small press than normal for San Diego. San Diego usually has a lot more of the smaller artist alley, but then a lot more of the studio stuff going on, and between all the mainly movie studios and a little bit of the comics side of it too. So be interested to see what's going on. I mean, I'm sure I'll be at my table the whole weekend. So we'll get a chance to check out everything during the show, but I'll try to walk around beforehand, and maybe we'll do some Bardstone videos for you guys so you can check everything out here on Odd Musings of Bardstone. So it'll be fun. So
for sure.
Yeah. So you just started watching Titans, didn't you?
Titans. So yeah. So for full disclosure, I had no interest in seeing this. I was not happy with the production photos that were coming out with the casting. Wasn't thrilled with it.
Yeah.
I had some free time, so I'm like, oh, I'll check this out since I have HBO Max and I'm paying for it. So I'll play it. So I'll say this. I'll give my little spoiler-free, little quick rundown.
Yeah, because
Um,
they're in season 3 technically now.
correct. So I'm only in season one. I'm on the last episode of season one now, and I'll say, as a standalone, if I watch it just as a superhero show, not as Teen Titans and not the characters that I know through the cartoons, I'm enjoying it. However, there is no connection to them for me. Like the Raven, that's Starfire. I don't see Starfire. So far, I mean, maybe it changes in future seasons. I don't know. There's nothing about her that personality wise, there's not a single aspect of her that they're channeling of that character. Beast Boy, I don't get the feeling that that's Beast Boy. Raven,
Right.
I'm not buying it. The closest one is Robin, but I feel he's more Jason Todd than Dick Grayson. So they're going with that whole Zack Snyder, everyone has to be angry all the time feeling. So as a Teen Titans show, I'm not crazy about it. As just watching it for fun, as just a dark, gritty show, and just disassociating it from the characters that I know, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Well, I
So
liked
that's
it
my
for what it
rundown.
was, and I agree with that too. Is it was not a um, direct correlation to the comics and previous TV shows, of the Titans, Teen Titans. Of course, these Titans are not teens; they're all in their 20s. Um, and with the Robin character, he is post Batman, so he's already left being the Robin, but he's still putting on the costume when you see him in this first season. But it's definitely a big departure from what you used to if you're a comic fan. So you kind of got to go into it taking it for what it is, and it's its own unique show, own unique spin. Um, but definitely, it's not what we're used to on a lot of those levels. So,
Yeah,
um,
but
so yeah, yeah,
it's not a bad show just as a
yeah,
standalone. Like I said, if it was part of a larger universe, that
yeah.
then
And
I
this is the current cast from season 3 up here, which I haven't watched season 3 yet. I just haven't gotten a chance.
I
Decided I
will
want to
say,
sit down and
I
watch
think
it.
what
So,
they do well is bringing in all the side characters, like Hawk and Dove. They introduced.
yep,
They've had other characters as well. I know in season two they start really expanding the whole universe with other characters as well. They keep hinting at Batman, but they don't show Batman. Um, like there's a scene where we see the Batmobile in the background. We are
yeah,
introduced to Jason Todd, who is the new Robin.
yeah,
Um, what's her name? Wonder Girl, who
yep,
studied under Wonder Woman, is introduced. So they are
yep.
doing a good job. I think I'm enjoying the side characters almost more than the main characters.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, and the Beast Boy, he doesn't. He's constantly they made him. They want to make they left him more human. I think a lot of it is just cost instead of having him be more
right.
beast than that. So you can just dye his hair green and everything else, and you're good there. But
Yeah, which I'm good
he,
with that.
yeah,
The main thing is though, I'm not getting the vibe, the essence of the character. Like Beast Boy is always like this fun-loving, happy-go-lucky, and I'm not getting that sense at all here.
yeah.
Same with
This is definitely on
Starfire.
the darker side of DC, especially the movies. The way the movies have gone in the last several years have been that darker side of that. But like I said, I enjoyed it. I watched the first season, watched the second, just haven't started the third yet. They definitely are branching out more. My favorite characters really are the Hawk and Dove. I like them a lot.
Well, and that's the thing. That's where, as far as a character storyline in season one, they have they have the more compelling story. Like Robin here, Dick Grayson.
Yeah,
She's just pissed off at everything. Like there's no real story arc here. There's no like why. It's just he's like, oh, I'm just mad because I grew up under Batman and it was so horrible having a billionaire take care of me. That was basically his storyline. And it's
yeah.
like,
Well, it does. I will say this: as you get into season 2, his story does evolve better.
yeah,
And
but
it's better
but
from
the
there.
problem is you got to survive a season one. Like, why are the side characters more compelling and deeper in background story than the main characters?
Well, I think a lot of it gets lost in the fact that they're trying to establish this setup, and the way they go about it is they start off going with one direction with the Robin character,
Right.
and they kind of got lost in the development all around. So because with there's a lot that you have to introduce between the Starfire character who is a major character in this first season, and you have Robin, he's a major character, find out what's going on with him. But yeah, and it is pissed off, but they don't get too much into detail. And I think part of it is the constraints that Warner Brothers puts on some of these shows, because they say, hey, we've got a Batman movie in the works. That's what was going on when this Titans first season aired. And that's when they were talking about doing the Batman movie with Affleck. So they were trying not to, as they feel, infringe on other stuff, which is where the biggest mistake comes from. They need to not worry about that, because the Warner Brothers has always made that mistake. That's why they canceled the Justice League cartoon and the Teen Titans cartoon, because they were doing stuff in the movies. They thought, oh, well, the movie stuff needs to be the focus, and you guys are coming too close to what we want to do. And that's why they even screwed up Arrow.
And along the lines of that same thing, exactly. They took away the Suicide Squad from Arrow in mid storyline and ruined that show, because they were coming out with Suicide Squad in the movies. But in here, one of the key members of the Titans isn't even in season 1, Cyborg.
Yeah,
because Warner Brothers, with their rules, they were going to use him in Justice League, so they didn't want him in here. And it's like, why do you guys do this?
Yeah. And that's where they screwed up, because they need to realize that you can have multiple avenues of stuff going on that doesn't necessarily have to be all in canon to the same thing. And
especially DC has long established their own metaverse where sorry, Facebook, is that a trademark now? Aren't they metaverse?
Oh, they're meta, but yeah.
Or not meta, multiverse is what I meant.
Yeah, it's a multiverse, yeah.
DC has long established a multiverse and multiple Earths. Just set this on a different Earth, and then you can use all the characters.
Well, and the way it progressed through season 2, it's on a different Earth, but again, Warner Brothers, because most people in charge have no clue about the stories or characters or anything where they're coming from. They just were saying, oh, well, we can't have, this character here because it's the same character. No, it's not. They've proven throughout the comics that they've had multiple versions of different ones, and that's what we're seeing in different durations. And people watching it. Of course, the first season itself was on the now defunct DC streaming network. And same thing with season 2, I believe, was going through that before I ported over to HBO Max when they finally bought up all of Warner Brothers and just said, hey, we're dropping that streaming. When they launched HBO Max and started bringing over all the DC stuff from there. So that's where we got Titans, you've got Doom Patrol now, and anything else they go forward will all be on the HBO Max platform. So
yeah, so I'll keep watching it.
Yeah.
It's something where I'll watch when I have spare time, but I'm not like, oh my God, I got to keep watching this.
Yeah. Now here's something that if you really want to learn about, read some good Titans, DC Universe Infinite. It's the comics and graphic novels. It's all digital, and you go back and read. It says 25,000 comic scripts. So you're going back decades here. Go back and read the source material. I mean, that's where you're going to find out some great things about some great characters. While they are showing all the characters here that are from the TV series, this will be over here, will be the graphics and comic novels. And you'll get to read stuff like back in the day when it was Marv Wolfman and George Perez doing the Teen Titans in its heyday in the 80s, with some great reads and things like that, as well as up through the 90s and 2000s. So go back and check that out. That's what I would do. If you really want to learn more about this, that's the way to do it. I really wish the heads of Warner Brothers would actually go and read all that stuff, because I know they haven't. So
yeah, well, they also don't understand the fan.
Yeah.
What they don't understand, they think we're just simple people beneath them.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't understand 2 versions of Batman or 2 versions of Cyborg. They don't understand that all you have to do is say at the opening, just say which Earth this takes place on, and bam, we know where we are.
Yeah.
Just like with so many of these things, with Marvel even, or we know the MCU is separate from the cartoons and separate from the video games, and we can keep track of different storylines.
Oh yeah, definitely. So but that's been the downfall we've talked about on this show for the last 4 years now of Warner Brothers DC is their inconsistencies and the fact that they really don't have a clue on how to tell good stories overall. Although I will say it, the Titans and Doom Patrol I think have been better storytelling than I enjoyed in the movies outside of even Wonder Woman. So
Yeah, I agree.
definitely check that out. So well, we got another show we got a chance to check out over the weekend too, since Scott and I were in a hotel that actually had the streaming version of Showtime, and Dexter's back.
Dexter, New
So
Blood.
yeah, and I my thing is I only watched like the first 3-4 seasons, and then they started to lose me. I felt it was getting a little too repetitive for me to enjoy. I just wasn't enjoying it, so I stopped watching it. I did watch the very final episode to see how it ended, and I was a little disappointed in that myself. So I figured, but I know Scott likes Dexter, so I said, "Hey, let's watch it." We had nothing else to do because we had the extra time sheet, so both of us are up early. So, and when that happens, what do? You watch TV. So we watched Dexter New Blood, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very well done, and I liked the way they have introduced 10 years later into the Dexter universe.
Yeah, I'm very happy with where they picked up. I was a little disappointed with the ending of Dexter. A lot of people were.
Mhm.
What's interesting when you contrast it, at this same point in time, back when the finale aired, we had two major finales happening. We had Dexter and Breaking Bad, both within a week of each other, if I remember correctly,
Mhm.
having their finales. And Breaking Bad did it expertly. It ended, the fan base was happy. It's not easy to end a popular series well. I mean, look at like Lost. People hated the ending. Dexter, a lot of people were disappointed with the ending. So, Game of Thrones, it fell apart for the ending. So many things. It's not easy to wrap up a
Yeah.
beloved character in series. So Breaking Bad did it right. Dexter, it went away. The finale was kind of forgettable. And the fans wanted, there were petitions, I remember, for bringing Dexter back for a movie or another season to give him justice, to give him a proper ending.
Mhm.
Um, and so it's been 10 years, and Michael C. Hall, is that right? C. Hall? Is that the actor's name? Michael C. Hall, I think it is.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. He's heavily involved with this now. I think he's an executive producer, if I remember right.
Yeah.
So he's involved with the making of this, and they're bringing the character back. I feel like they're doing it right.
Yep. And they're showing this week's episode, which airs on the 14th, Storm of F. So definitely
So
have a
if
little bit
you
of that.
don't know, like if you're someone like Brett, where you follow the first 3 or 4 seasons and then fell
Mhm.
away, really, I think it was season 4 had the Trinity Killer with John Lithgow.
And I
That
think
was
that
the
was the
peak.
last season I really watched. Because
Yeah,
after that, I just couldn't keep up. I was like, okay, I'm kind of over this.
yeah.
And
So that was probably the peak of the series back
mhm.
then. It started going downhill a little bit. I enjoyed it all the way till the end, and except for the final 2 minutes. Had they just ended it 2 minutes sooner, I probably would have liked it more. but but anyways, it declined. They took away some. He needed a good adversary,
Yeah.
and I wish they had brought in somebody after Lithgow's story arc. If they got someone like a Buscemi or a Malkovich to come in as the nemesis for him to
Yeah.
take on, I think people would have gone nuts. But or there's so many great people who would have been perfect for it. But instead, they after the Lithgow series, it was always a lower level adversary for him, and it didn't live up to things anymore. It became too focused on him having a kid and all these things, and it wasn't as powerful.
Yeah.
So with this season, though, they're setting up a showdown where there's these women who are going missing, and there may be a serial killer on the loose. And those of you who know Dexter know that he needs to go after those people.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's interesting. He's trying to be a different person. You see that at the beginning, and that, but as the episode goes on, things are happening that are, uh, very good, where you want to be out, but it just pulls you back in,
yeah,
and you start seeing the old Dexter return a little bit, and that's what I found very interesting. It was as how they started off. Because I mean, when they start off at first, you're kind of like, okay, what's going on here? He's middle of nowhere, running through the forest, in the winter. this is kind of different. This is weird. What's going on? And because it's not, I mean, we're used to being down like Miami where it's warm and, stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see as they progress in this, where he's at. The character that he created, the character of Dexter created a new character within himself for the new persona that everybody knows, to see how that new character progresses versus the old Dexter starting to reemerge again.
And another character who returns is Deborah, his sister, played by Jennifer Carpenter. So,
Yeah.
Once again, if you left off around season 4 or something, you might be confused because she's now a ghost or a vision. Just like in the original series, his dad was always appearing to him. It acted as his subconscious talking to himself. She has come back in that form because spoiler alert, she dies in the old series. So she is now his subconscious or passenger that he talks with in his solitude.
Yep. So it was good. I enjoyed it.
F-bombs though yet, which the Deb character is known for her F-bombs.
Well, I think we might see some of this coming week because F is in the title of the show, so episode. Yeah. So we'll see that.
Well, there were more F-bombs in Titans by Robin than Deb so far, and that's just not right.
Well, yeah, because Robin says F Batman, which was all over the interwebs when he did that.
Right from the opening.
And once I saw what the context was, I was like, okay, it's not as bad as people made it out to be, but it still was not what you expected. So
yeah, I just don't like I said before, he's just mad. He's like a moody teenager. It's not nice that you gave me everything and gave me shelter. I need to run away because my life is so bad having everything.
Yeah. Though he still has access to everything, so
yeah, right.
So yeah, it's fine. That's one of the things on him I think is fun. But I enjoyed it in Titans. His was not the story I was following the most. It was the other stories that really made that first season, and then as they go on, it's starting to get better. So they're building the team up. So and then it ended pretty good for the second season. So I have to, like I said, I have to watch the third season still and get back into it. So, but again, it's always not been a priority series for me. So
one last thing before we get off the Dexter topic.
Yeah.
So for Dexter, you need a subscription to Showtime. If you go to Showtime.com, they have a bundle on there. If you have Paramount Plus, you can bundle Showtime with that, which I do have that one.
Yeah, actually, you can do it with Paramount Plus. You can do it with Prime. Pretty much almost all the streaming networks.
Yeah, I thought Hulu has one also.
Yeah. If they dealt with anything with live TV, especially or in that aspect stuff, a lot of them have those partnerships. I think Netflix is the only one that really doesn't. Netflix is just Netflix. So
right.
And then
you
HBO
can
as well.
Check with your. I think you get it through AT&T, Brett.
Yeah, my AT&T cable actually, the movie package includes Showtime.
So you've got that.
And then I have a deal on HBO and all that. So
if you're interested, there's a bunch of deals out there right now. Showtime is running because they know Dexter is one of those shows that people will subscribe for. So they're making the push to get those subscribers back.
Yeah, and you can do the trial period and stay on as long as you need to and then cancel it. There's not like a year obligation to this stuff. So don't feel like, I got to stick with it forever. Because I know people that will do that. They will sign up for the series or the streaming they want just to watch the series they want and then cancel once it's done. So that's why I think Disney Plus is getting ready to launch their new Disney Plus Day. And that's going to be on the 12th. And they're doing a few different things. They're releasing a lot of different movies and a couple series, things like that. So we've got, I was reading yesterday, they've also got they're releasing a lot of movies in the IMAX format, which means it's going to have the, the bigger picture. Of course, you're going to still have the black bars because at least I assume so. But I'm also curious to see if there's any difference in the movies themselves that are releasing IMAX versus the regular theatrical versions they have, whether it's less or more, things like that. So it's gonna be interesting to see. But like for the 12th, which is this coming Friday, gosh, it's already 10th of November. Can you believe that, Scott?
I know. It's crazy. Oh.
Yep.
I just hope the winter months fly by as fast because I'm not looking forward to snow.
All right, I'm trying to put up a page, and I'm tired of these places that say, "Oh, you've got an ad blocker, and you need to disable it so we can show you everything." It's like, no, I don't want to do that. So, but yeah, so with the Disney Plus Day, Shang-Chi is coming on Friday. Legend of the Ten Rings. So that's going to be streaming, as well as Jungle Cruise, and these are at no additional cost on top of your monthly thing with that. And then, like I said, they're releasing a lot of movies as a IMAX enhanced on Disney Plus, including the Shang-Chi. So
Also,
so it is an
supposedly,
expanded aspect ratio. I'm looking right at the Disney Plus site. So, and then they'll have other IMAX enhanced features and functionalities that are not currently available on Disney Plus.
cool. Well, also supposedly this Friday will be the release of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series trailer
Mm-hmm.
with Disney Plus. So that's supposed to be releasing Friday as well.
Yeah, and I think that's been great to see that. And then I'm wondering when we get another, like, something with Andor. So Andor is going to be coming out pretty soon too, because that's wrapped filming,
Yeah.
and then as well as we're just about time to launch Hawkeye.
Yep.
So Hawkeye will be coming soon.
Got that, and then we got Ghostbusters next week. That's exciting.
Yeah. Now they've also got this Disney Plus. They're launching this Home Sweet Home Alone. I watched the trailer for that. This trailer is garbage. I am just so disappointed in this. Realistically, and they have I don't know if you noticed in the trailer, there's a cop and he's the McAllister name on it, but I have a feeling it's actually Buzz. And not actually Kevin. So the guy looked pretty big. Though they didn't really show him. I think he's gonna be like the secret character they throw in. But it looked like just a really crappy remake of the original one. So not excited about that. Looking forward to seeing Jungle Cruise again, though. I did like that. They're doing the Olaf Presents, all new series of shorts. The Snowman's retells several classic Disney tales as only he can. So that might be kind of interesting for those that like the.
The way the fan is behind me, it's like I have a crazy hat on. There.
Yeah, they have a new short film called Ciao Alberto. It's a new short film from Pixar, and it's based on the breakout film Luca that came out. So we follows Alberto, and he basically wants to prove himself to his new mentor Massimo. And that's so. World According to Jeff Goldblum is getting a second season coming out on the 12th. A new Assembled with the Legends Hawkeye, and then Under the Helmet, The Legacy of Boba Fett, an all-new documentary special that celebrates the origins of Boba Fett.
Cool.
And then I guess so if you don't already have Disney Plus, they got a couple specials for signing up. But if you got Verizon for cell phone, they have a package deal with unlimited data that gets you the Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN package for free. I switched to it a while back, and it actually saved me $5 a month on my plan. So
wow.
definitely check into that. So that's a great way to get that free if you have Verizon. I got another new Frozen thing, Frozen Fever, Feast I've seen before. So it's just a bunch of stuff that coming back on that I've seen, but in different aspects too. So it'll be interesting on a lot of these things here that's releasing. So it's gonna be a lot of content hitting this coming week. And it'll be interesting to see all the IMAX special features they do or whatever, the wide different screen, and see how that looks. So sometimes different action scenes will be shot using IMAX in anticipation of being an IMAX because it works better. And then they have to just change the other aspect ratio for the rest of the film that was shot normal. So
cool.
But yeah, so a lot of cool stuff on that for Friday. And the only thing is I kind of wish we were having a like either a Boba Fett series hitting or something like that. Because I mean, that was the nice thing about Disney Plus when it launched was the first episode of Mandalorian was right there when you got ready to watch it. So,
well, it will be nice having it for the winter months, though.
yeah, December. I'm looking forward to that, and it's a nice start right before the holiday or right in the middle of the holidays. So, but they are really releasing Enchanted on Disney Plus because they have a sequel coming to Disney Plus called Disenchanted. If you remember, that was when it started Amy Adams and Patrick Dempsey. So I had to go to a couple different sites to find stuff here. A bunch of making of stuff, things like that. So it'd be interesting on that. And then they're going to have the Hawk new thing about Meet Kate Bishop, stuff like that. So that's probably in the guy. It's revisit all of Hawkeye's moments in the MCU to prepare ready for the upcoming series. Do you remember the date that Hawkeye launches?
I think it's like around Thanksgiving.
I think it's probably the following week or two. Yeah, it'll probably be on November 24th. So it'll start streaming that Wednesday.
Okay.
So just in time for the holiday. Yeah. So 2 weeks. Today we get the Hawkeye. So definitely that you check it out. We'll talk about it the week after. I know I'm not going to be here the Wednesday of Thanksgiving. Scott, are you planning on doing a show that week, or are we just going to take the week off?
I think we'll probably take that day off.
Because with the holidays, everything going on, got a lot going on. Plus, I'm getting ready to head
Yeah.
out. I'll probably end up actually working that day just because I got a short week and it's always busy the day before Thanksgiving, and also in case anything else we need to get for the holiday meals that I won't be partaking because I'll be flying that day, but but for everybody else. So, but
I wanted to give a quick Kickstarter update here.
yeah, let me pull that up too.
So,
here.
first of all, it's always Christmas when you're receiving Kickstarters in the mail. I received a great Kickstarter I sponsored a little while back. They were a little late, but it wasn't their fault. Their books were all stuck on boats out in the ocean, so it just pushed it back a few weeks. But they did it's a beautiful job. It's called The Few and the Cursed. If I was in my office right now, I'd be holding up the book. So maybe next week I'll try to remember to have it with me to hold up. But it's how I'm hoping to do our Frankenstein book and the trade. It's a very quality hardcover edition. Great colors on the interiors. The pages are quality. So definitely something that, and I was able to see what book publisher they used for the printing. So that would be good. But yeah, it's an awesome job. It's a post-apocalyptic western, a mysterious redhead gunslinger. This is the trade collecting all 6 issues of the acclaimed series. So,
very cool.
Their book, it's like 250 pages, so it's a good size hardcover.
Yeah.
But very well done. So they had raised 180,000 for theirs.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing. How do I get in on that action?
I know, guys. So, but hey, one that is doing well though is the Roadkill Rampage that we talked about with Rodney. They're over $3,000 now, so they're at 75 backers. They've been doing different things with hitting backers as well as the money, so they're definitely hitting their stretch goals.
Yeah, they're doing good with their stretch goals. Their next one is at 3250. They also just unlocked a stretch goal for 75 backers. So
yep, holographic sticker. Yep, and the Chaser card, they're calling it. It will complete the metal trading card set that is available as an add-on. So it will be a metal trading card, so a standard trading card size. So it looks really cool, and they're not too far off from that. So a lot of cool stuff, and that. So I'm sure as they come forward, they're gonna be adding more stretch goals as they get up there too. But yeah, this is awesome for our pals over at Hasm. $30,047 pledge of the $1,500. So in 75 backers, they got 9 days to go. So you got plenty of time to back this thing. So.
And did you see they have another project they're doing the pre-launch for?
I did not. I missed that.
The Chronicles of Horror, I think that it's called, or
okay,
it's like a bunch of horror stories, like 8 stories.
Okay, so like an anthology book then.
That's what it sounded like. I just, when you do the pre-launch page, I saw it pop up in my email, so I clicked on it and followed that. So I don't know how to see the pre-launch pages though. Like it doesn't show it in my following here, so I don't know.
Let me see if I can find it. So
let's see. Hasm. I'll type Hasm and see. See, it doesn't come up in the searches when it's a pre-launch.
No, if you don't have the link, it's hard to find.
Yeah.
So let me see if it's on here.
But the illustration they show looks really great. There's this guy sitting in like a lazy boy chair, looking horrified, and you see a TV in the foreground, like you're behind the TV, and you see the glow of the TV. You see this arm coming out of the TV at the guy, and he's like, "Ah." So looks cool.
Well, I don't see anything on the Hasm page at this time because there's all the.
It was in my email.
So yeah, I have to check my emails.
I thought it was them, but it's somebody else.
It's possible. I mean, I didn't get it. I didn't see anything. So let me check my email real quick and see if I can find something here. But
I think it was sent through Kickstarter. I think it's sent to people who backed them. Could be wrong.
Okay. Well, I get so many emails. Yeah, I tell you, it's there's so much crap I get emails that I sometimes miss out on things here. Do you remember what the name of it is?
That was Chronicles of Horror.
Okay.
I'm going to Hasm to see if they have it on their page.
Yeah, I didn't see anything on Facebook. So, and I didn't get anything in email either. So, and maybe it's tied into somebody else that you backed.
I'm pretty sure it was him, though, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Or they didn't mean to have it ready to go out yet.
That's possible. So,
yeah, I'm seeing nothing anywhere. I don't know. I imagined it.
yeah.
It's not Chronicles of Horror.
Chronicles of Horror. Okay.
I'm not seeing it. Let me go here.
Oh, here we go. I Googled it. Chronicles of Horror 1-2. Stay tuned. It had 170 backers, $4,370. It was funding successful back on October 31st. It was someone out of Baltimore, though, but it was an anthology.
That's a different one.
It's the one with the guy in the chair where it says Chronicles of Horror #2, and he's kind of got a scared face.
See it?
Yeah, here, I'll share the screen.
Who is that?
Well, I'm at. Is that what you were seeing in your email or whatever?
That's the okay. That's the artwork.
Yeah, Matthew Myers.
Who's this guy?
So
how did I get his notification?
I don't know. Did you back him with something else?
No.
He's created 5 different ones. Let's see what he's created here. Let me close it out. I
swear I saw. Well, unless they back. Oh, I wonder if Rodney followed it and then it sent out a notice that he followed it.
Could be.
Then yeah, Kickstarter tells you when somebody follows somebody.
Yeah, nothing I've seen that you would have backed. So, not sure. That's kind of weird. So
that had to be it because I never saw that guy. So I saw Rodney's and Hasm, but it came with their name on the email. So I think Kickstarter notified me that they backed it. So
could have,
I just read it.
Maybe they backed it last minute because it ended on the 31st. It's been over.
It was pre-launch, so it must be the next book or something.
I don't know. That's when they just said it's launched. So I mean, it's unless he's got they just finished one, unless he's got another one coming out. So
that's what I mean. Is I think they're setting up for the next issue or whatever.
Yeah, maybe it was just a glitch in the Kickstarter system. They sent something out they shouldn't have.
Well, it says notify me on launch. So that, we'll set up a pre-launch page sometimes.
Sometimes, if I follow them, whoever I follow, it says, hey, or follow, I get notification of launch. For pre-launch, I usually don't get notification there's a pre-launch site unless they send it to me directly. Like, hey, check out our site. It's ready to go. It's like, my email goes off every time, like, when Hasm or Stranger Comics or a lot of people I've already backed before. When Enrica does a project, a cup, so I say, yeah, okay, I can jump on and support that. So I find out about a few things I didn't know we're going to launch. Is like, oh, here it is. And I take a look at it. Like, okay, I'll back that. Right. So
very weird.
Yeah. Kickstarter is a great thing, but it definitely can be a little weird and how things are going. They are always evolving. So at least they're trying to get better on that. So I popped it up, but hey, Kevin, if you're still watching, we weren't trying to ignore you. We just kind of got lost in conversation. So Kevin popped in today. And then Michelle says you were sounding weird, but I let her know that you're on your phone and that you don't have a separate microphone today. Yeah. So that's why your sound is a little off. So it happens. So, but hey, I'm going to go see Eternals tonight. Scott's going to try. And if he does, we'll give you our take on it next week. And if not, we'll probably still give you our take on it. I don't know. We talk about anything we want to. But that was some other fun stuff and catch you up more on real estate. And I know you guys are getting ready for Christmas because you decorated over there at Jill's place I was posting on that.
The outside, we're waiting on Emily to get back. And once she gets back, so the plan is Friday will be interior Christmas decorating. Right now it's fall decor back there.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Because this will be here sooner than you think. It's 2 weeks from tomorrow. We're at Thanksgiving, guys. And then a month from there. So we're like 6 weeks from Christmas. So those you wait to the last minute, it's coming soon.
So before we sign off, I just want to give a request for prayer real quick. A friend of mine, Leroy Simpson. He's a member of the 501st. He's an amazing guy. He's been battling cancer for the last 5 years. It's been an aggressive cancer, but he's been doing amazing, fighting it all this time. He made a post last night. They have made the decision, though, to stop chemo and start making hospice plans. Um, so just asking for people to lift them up in prayer. There's always time for a miracle, as long as you're breathing. And as I said to him, this is just the first stage in all of our lives. All of us got to face the end day at one point or the other, hopefully longer than sooner. But this is just the first step. Like a caterpillar, it goes in the cocoon. It actually, in a way, dies. It becomes a whole new creature and spreads its wings when it flies out there. And, that's what we all got to take that journey. But so just ask for prayer for Leroy. He's an amazing guy. A lot of people love him, a lot of friends, family. And so, Leroy, you're awesome. Love you. And be on the other side. Hopefully not, though. Hopefully we'll see you in the coming years.
I hope so. Sorry to hear about that, though. So definitely keep him in prayers. We add him to the list and go from there. So we will see you all next time. So y'all have a great week.